The Uganda State of Oil and Gas Sector Future is brought to you by Accord in partnership with Cisco and NTV.
The Albertine Graben, which is one of Africa's biodiversity hotspots, is home to many plant and animal species. This region is protected under multiple international agreements such as the Convention on Biological Diversity, the Ramsar Convention, UNESCO World Heritage Convention, and the CITES. However, Uganda's natural habitats are under threat. Forest coverage has plummeted from 24% in 1990 to a mere 13.3% in 2020. Similarly, wetlands have decreased from 15.6% in 1994 to 8.9% in 2019. A major factor behind deforestation is the increasing demand for fuel wood.
Our oil and gas projects are going to produce liquefied petroleum gas, or what we locally know as the cooking gas, that can be a replacement for the use of charcoal and firewood to make our cooking more green.
With the imminent start of commercial oil production, concerns are mounting about the potential environmental repercussions of heightened activity in the oil and gas sector.
So basically, we are mandated to fulfill key requirements in the international conventions that obligate Uganda to safeguard these resources, first of all for our own benefit now and even for the benefit of our future generations.
Key production areas lie within ecologically sensitive zones. This necessitates constant oversight to mitigate potential damages from oil-related infrastructure and pollution.
It is an area that is highly sensitive, and any activities related to extraction of fossil fuels must be done in a way that does the precautionary measures to be able to safeguard the environment, but also exploit the resources for the benefit of this generation and the future.
The National Environment Management Authority asserts that they are committed to ensuring the protection of biodiversity. So, what safeguards are in place?
First of all, we did what we call sensitivity atlas mapping. Sensitivity atlas mapping identifies sensitive areas and sites, like breeding sites for key species, watering points, so these were avoided through what we call the mitigation hierarchy of avoidance.
Also had quite a number of the strategic environmental and social assessments, and then some specialized studies for the key environmental components of soil, of wildlife, of water, and all these were compiled into or informed the development of the strategic environmental assessments and let alone the environmental impact assessments.
We reached out to authorities involved in the monitoring of the Tilenga project activities to understand if biodiversity conservation is integrated into the project's oil development plans.
They have certificates with conditions guiding them on what to do and what not to do in order to protect the conservation areas, and we do routine monitoring.
Most of the infrastructure was concentrated in the industrial area. The reason for that is that this is an environmentally sensitive area. We don't want to distribute too many things in different places. And that was by design, to try and reduce the footprint of the project in this environmentally sensitive area.
Dr. Akankwasa unveils that aside from these measures, the government is also exploring biodiversity offsets.
And we are currently discussing an offset, a biodiversity offset, to ensure that activities associated with the Tilenga project actually leave behind a no net loss in biodiversity, and in the best case scenario, they should leave a net benefit in terms of biodiversity values.
The idea is that we must make sure we exploit oil and gas in a way that balances nature and livelihood improvement. So we must not compromise one for the other.
On the social-economic front, issues related to human rights violations and compensation for affected individuals continue to surface.
A company that prides itself on creating value for our country should not be under compensating communities. So they should hold discussions with the people and pay them the right amount of compensation.
The government gives assurances that they have addressed these concerns over the years.
I've been seeing some people going around saying that, you know, there are people who have been affected, there are people who have been displaced. I want to say in Chikobe district, where I'm the RDC and the head of security, no single person has been displaced because of oil-related activity. And all those PAPs, we call them project-affected persons, all those PAPs who were affected by these projects have been compensated either through cash or houses.
Project-affected people, they have modern houses, and in fact, when you go to them, they say, I think you brought this oil here for them to develop faster.
The minister concludes with a message for the citizens of Uganda.
Let us all jubilate that this project is a success. Even the areas which have no oil will be developed using this oil. So give it a blessing, pray for it.
Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.
The Uganda State of Oil and Gas Sector feature is brought to you by Accord in partnership with Cisco and NTV.